I saw him every single day. Same corner, same bench, 6 hours minimum, sometimes 8. At first, I thought dedication. Then I thought obsession. But what I discovered about people who spend half their waking life in the gym, it's neither of those things. And it's way darker than you think. Because here's what nobody tells you. When someone can't leave the gym, it's not about their body anymore. It's about what they're running from. And in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the 5 psychological patterns that trap people inside these walls, and why you might recognize yourself in one of them. Stay with me, because pattern number 3, that's the one that nearly destroyed someone I know. Let's get something straight right away. We're not talking about professional athletes. We're not talking about bodybuilders deep in competition prep. We're talking about regular people who crossed an invisible line from healthy dedication into something else entirely. 6 hours. Think about that for a second. That's a part-time job. That's longer than most people sleep. And here's the thing that makes this so fascinating from a psychological perspective. These people almost never see it happening to them. There's a concept in psychology called egocentric behavior. It means your actions align so perfectly with your self-image that you see them as problematic. The gym becomes who you are. And that's where it gets dangerous. So let me introduce you to the 5 psychological profiles. 5 types of people who lose themselves in the iron. And I promise you, you know at least one of them. Profile number 1 is the architect of control. Meet Sarah. Not her real name, of course. She's at the gym from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. every single day. She has a spreadsheet for her spreadsheets. She knows her body fat percentage to the decimal point. But here's what's really happening. Sarah was laid off 8 months ago. Her relationship ended. Her dad got diagnosed with a serious illness. And the gym? The gym is the only place in her world where chaos doesn't exist. This is what psychologists call compensatory control. When the external world becomes unpredictable and frightening, we grip tighter to the things we can control. And your body? That's the ultimate controllable variable. The weights go up when you decide. The reps in when you want. The calories burn on your schedule. It's an intoxicating feeling of power. But here's the trap. The more you control your body, the less you address what's actually breaking you. For the architect of control, the gym isn't their sanctuary. It's their avoidance mechanism. And 6 hours? That's not training time. That's hiding time. Next up is profile 2, the identity refugee. This one is subtle and often incredibly painful. These are the people who used to be athletes, the stars of their high school teams, college scholarship winners. Maybe they even played semi-pro. And then life happened. Injuries, age, reality. But psychologically, they never left the field. There's a concept called identity foreclosure. It happens when your sense of self gets locked into a single narrative so early that you never develop beyond it. For them, the gym becomes a time machine. They're not using it to build a future, but to keep reliving a past. Every set is a reminder of who they were. Every hour is a protest against who they've become. I knew a guy like this, a former college football player. He spent 7 hours a day training for a comeback that everyone, including him deep down, knew wasn't coming. The saddest part? He wasn't training his body. He was punishing it for betraying him. The identity refugee doesn't see exercise as progress. They see it as archaeology. They're just digging for the person they used to be. Profile 3. And this is the one I promised you. The one that almost destroyed someone I care about. This is the architect of appearance. And please believe me, this goes way deeper than simple vanity. These people aren't working out to feel good. They're working out to feel acceptable. There's a term in psychology called body dysmorphic disorder by proxy. It's when your entire self-worth becomes externalized, hinging completely on how you think others perceive you. Every mirror becomes a judgment. Every photo becomes evidence for the prosecution. Every single compliment is just a temporary relief from an anxiety that never, ever ends. The person I knew? She was at the gym 8 hours a day. Cardio, weights, classes, then more cardio. She was chasing a body that didn't exist. Because the body was never the problem. The problem was the relentless voice in her head that insisted she wasn't enough. And here's the cruelest part of this pattern. The gym actually reinforces it. Because you do get compliments. You do see changes. So your brain connects the dots. Suffering equals worthiness. Pain equals value. 6 hours isn't enough. 8 hours isn't enough. Because enough doesn't exist when you're running from yourself. Moving on to profile 4, the social anchorite. An anchorite, It's an old word for someone who withdraws from society for religious reasons, a hermit. And that's exactly what's happening here. But the gym is their monastery. These people aren't avoiding their bodies, they're avoiding other humans. The gym becomes their entire social ecosystem. Not because they love fitness, but because they are terrified of real, messy, human connection. Psychologically, this is parasocial refuge. You surround yourself with people in a space where interaction is optional, superficial, and has built-in boundaries. You can feel around people without the terrifying vulnerability of actually being with people. Think about it. At the gym, nobody asks deep questions. Nobody expects emotional availability. You can nod, smile, spot someone on the bench press, and never, ever let them see who you actually are. 6 hours becomes a safe haven. Because 6 hours means you've successfully avoided breakfast with family, lunch with coworkers, dinner with friends, and any quiet moment where someone might lean in and ask, "Hey, are you okay?" And finally, Profile 5. I'm going to be very direct about this one. The pharmaceutical dependent. We're talking about people who've crossed the line into using performance-enhancing substances, powerful stimulants, or other compounds that fundamentally change the reward structure of their brain. Here's what happens neurologically. When you introduce external chemicals that hijack your dopamine system, your brain recalibrates. Normal workouts stop feeling rewarding. Normal progress stops being enough. So you need more time, more volume, more intensity, not because you're more dedicated, but because your neurochemistry now demands it just to feel normal. This isn't a moral judgment. This is brain science. The gym time increases because the chemical dependency demands it. And very often, the person doesn't even realize they're not in the driver's seat anymore. If you re-spending 6+ hours at the gym and you re-using substances to get there or get through it, the gym isn't the problem. It's a symptom. So here's what connects all 5 of these profiles. This is the part that truly matters. They're all using the gym as a substitute for therapy. Think about it. Every single pattern we discussed, the need for control, the lost identity, the obsession with appearance, social avoidance, chemical dependency, these are all trauma responses. They're all ways the psyche tries to solve internal problems with external solutions. The gym becomes medication. It becomes validation. It becomes purpose. And when one thing becomes all of those things, that's not health. That's addiction. And I know that word is loaded. But addiction doesn't always look like substances. Sometimes it looks like someone who can't imagine a day without 6 hours of training. Someone who panics at the thought of a rest day. Someone whose entire mood crashes if they miss a single workout. The question isn't, is working out a lot bad? The real question is, what are you working out to avoid feeling? So if you recognize yourself or a part of yourself in any of these patterns, I want you to try something. An experiment. Tomorrow, don't go to the gym. Just for one day. And notice what comes up. Notice the anxiety. Notice the guilt. Notice that voice that says you're lazy, or you're losing progress, or you're not enough. That voice. That's not your dedication talking. That's the thing you've been running from. Because here's the truth. Your body doesn't need 6 hours in the gym. Your body needs rest, recovery, and balance. But your psyche? Your psyche needs you to stop running and start feeling. The gym can be a powerful tool, or it can be a gilded cage. The difference is whether you're using it to build yourself up or to hide yourself away. If this resonated with you, please leave a comment. Tell me which profile hit closest to home. And if you know someone who seems stuck in one of these patterns, maybe share this with them. Sometimes, awareness is the very first rep toward freedom. Thanks for watching. Take care of your mind, not just your muscles.